Yeah, don't want to test. I'll walk the whole perimeter.
Yeah, that chain is really tiny. Yeah. Yeah, that chain was way too tiny. I didn't know that's all he had on there.
Just to load them.
Check it out, girls. Oh my. Today's the day. We are going to look at a couple of cows, actually. A milk cow and is it a steer or a heifer? Oh. We're debating. What do y'all think? Uh-oh, tire pressure. Yeah, not good.
What's the
57. Is it right here?
No.
Do we get a milk cow? I'm sure there's some experienced people out there and we've heard both ways. Just seems like the thing to do if you're gonna be in one spot and you have the land. Rob's vote is yes, correct? Okay, we're both undecided. Here goes nothing. Okay, I missed it. We're turning around real quick. Want to tell them a little bit about this breed?
They're Dexter cows, and we're late. Dexter is a mama that's 10 years old. That's A2. She hasn't been milked regularly, but the woman said she did just have to milk her the other day for this calf, and the calf was just born this summer. So mama and a calf. Potential to milk the mama, raise the calf for meat, or we could also have it tested to find out if it's A2. But the mama is certified A2. It's a situation where we could bring the mama back over here to have her bred every year, so we'd have a calf every year to raise for meat or possibly milk. They're over there. Well, we took a week or so to think about whether or not we really wanted to get into this cow journey. We really enjoyed going to see the cows. It ended up being somebody that we knew that we were getting from, which we didn't realize. And she had actually shared a couple books with us a few years ago that we never got around to reading. And it just, the whole thing made us feel a lot better. We know that she was on the same page as far as how to raise the animals and things. So that made it really want to push us towards getting the cows. So we were looking at a cow-calf pair, and we did let her know we were going to get them. So then it kicks in, we've got to get ready for cows mode. So we already have the hay stacked. That's the first step, and that's how we met these people. I actually originally met them through a friend trying to get cows, and then the husband cut and baled hay for us this year. And then we were waiting till calving season, and the wife let us know that she had a cow-calf pair, an A2 Dexter, and a heifer calf. And so we are going to do that. Now I am getting our pasture and kind of our, so this is our pasture that runs behind the house and the barns. We did cut this side for hay this season, but have let it grow. And then around the other side of the barn, we are running the chickens right now, and we have run the pigs in that pasture too, but it's starting to look good. We can get chickens out of there and use that for grazing pasture for the cows as well. But what I needed to do, and I've done it 3 or 4 times, is since we've been at this property, is shore up the electric fence and make sure I've got good lines all the way around. So we are getting a cow-calf pair, so I wanted to make sure that we have a line low enough and high enough to keep in a calf and a cow. And we I did that. I got that finished. I've got good charge running through there. I just hooked up one of our Premier One solar chargers, and I had a good strong charge through. But Right here near this fence, we have a charger that was already installed. There's an outlet under this little well house, and there was a line that was buried. I pulled it up because it was lost somewhere under the dirt from previous tenants of this place. So right now I'm just retrenching a little bit. I'm going to run a new line, and I'm going to hook this fence here up to a permanent charger, because we are heading into fall winter. Our solar chargers sometimes struggle, and the last thing I want is a struggling charger with this new cow adventure. One of the other things I need to do is get the watering figured out. I have a couple of these large watering troughs that were also just here in the barns. We have well heads here. We have a faucet here. There's one inside that barn, and there's one over in the backside of the house, so we can run hoses from each of those out into the pasture where we are going to move them. And I got for the time being, a float valve for the water tank for the cattle water. So I'm going to run some hose, test out the watering systems, get the fence figured out for sure, check gates, and try to come up with a plan of what we do when we receive these cows. I really am going to kind of also take the lead of the people we're getting them from when we get them out here. Like, hey, should we just let them right out to pasture? Should we hold them in the barns in a stall for a while? So just Liz has taught me to be as prepared as I can be before we get animals, instead of just getting really excited and going picking them up. And that's definitely a lesson I've taken from her, and I've learned and gotten more patient through this homesteading journey. Is it always is a much more enjoyable experience to receive a new animal when you're fully prepared, or as prepared as you can be. So there was just a small, like 10 gauge wire run through here, and I pulled it up, and it's not very deep, so they may have just laid it on the ground and it got just covered up. But just from me pulling it up, it gave me kind of a start to this trench, and I just took the hoe and cleared it out a little bit, and I'm going to run some new wire. I'm actually going to use the old extension cord, like a 10 gauge extension cord that we had probably run over with the mower at some point, and I never get rid of that stuff. So I'm gonna lay that down, and there will be, I don't know, 2 wires in a ground running through that. I'm just gonna lay it down as like that. I'm not gonna strip it or anything, so that if perhaps something went wrong with one of the wires, there's already another one run. But just gonna lay that down here and cover it back up, and it'll get soil built up on it over time. More so just so when I mow through here, I'm not tangling it up or anything like that. The charger that's here right now is this American Farm Works 60 miles. I turned it on, it works. It's in a good location. It's under this little well house, and they had an outlet wired there already. So that's a lot of that work's done. I won't know until I hook it up the charge I'm getting on the fence, but I tested it with my tester that I use for the Premier One solar, and I had a good charge right at it. So we'll see. And even just with the Premier One 60 charger, I had the solar charger, I had strong enough charge, so I'm hopeful. And if this one doesn't cut it, we'll get a nicer one. Most of the hard work is done, which is running electrical out here to a covered area because you don't want these exposed to the weather, and this is tucked in there where it should be fine. So I'm going to run my hot line to the fence, and I'm going to put in a grounding rod and run to ground, and we should be hot.
Hey everybody, it's Lizzie here. I'm editing this video currently, and I just wanted to jump in and talk a little bit about how we started this journey and how we came to make the decision to get these cows. So whenever we're making a big decision like this, we always try to go out and do our research however we can. So we actually went to look at some different cows a few months before this and decided that, first of all, they were too expensive for us to jump into something that we didn't know anything about. We just didn't think it was a good idea to spend that much money. I can't remember what they were asking. But there's so many variables and so many things that could go wrong. We just thought it was too much money. What if the cow died? Or, what if we didn't like it and couldn't keep it? And so we decided against that. I guess that's the other thing, is that we don't just rush into decisions because it's something we really want to do. We really make sure that it's a deal that we're comfortable with and we feel good about. And hopefully the other party does too, if there's another party involved, which in this case, it happened to be someone who we had contacted in the spring about haying our fields. So last year we actually mowed the whole property in anticipation of hopefully doing hay this year, but we just wanted to get them in a little bit healthier of a spot before we tried to make hay from them. So that worked out really well, and it ended up being the husband of the lady who loves these cows that we got here and raises them. And so we didn't even know that we knew her because we had never seen her before. Her husband was just coming over to do the hay. And then when we went to her house to check them out, we realized, oh my gosh, we know who you are. And just from the jobs that we'd worked previously. So we had a really good feeling about the fact that we knew them, and now we had established a relationship with them haying our fields, and the price was right, and we felt like we had a friendship and a mentorship there, and everything just kind of lined up and made us feel really good about the decision, and that was really the deciding factor in this for us.
All right, here goes nothing. We're gonna test it. I tested it at the thing before I started all this. I hear it clicking. Let's test it at the fence. I'll test it here and then check it in other places around the fence. But the way these testers work, this is from Premier One for our solar fence, is you stick this little ground rod in the ground and then you touch the tester to the fence and you know what you're dealing with. Oh yeah, 7.7. That's hotter than it was with the solar. 9. Oh, we had 9.5, 7.5. Good. And on the tape, 7.5, 7.2, 7.4. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I didn't replace any of this existing stuff. I don't know if they had horses out here or what, but I was a little worried, like some of its conductivity wasn't so great. I don't know how the tape was compared to the ribbon, compared to the rope. We have a variety: tape, ribbon, rope. For right now, they're all hot enough. In the future, like I went through areas of the fence and patched and tied, like there I tied something, ribbon to rope. Seems pretty good, seems hot. This is just one of those things. We'll learn, we'll see if it's working. I eventually may just replace it all with some higher quality stuff from Premier One, but we always like to start where we're at and then see if we have to level up. So the plan is, now that I've got hot running all the way around the outside of the pasture, that I can just cross fence with a reel and some rope, some electric rope, electric polywire, and I'll hopefully be able to contain these pigs, contain the cows, and guide them to on a mob graze, move through here. Exciting. So now I'm going to cruise around the rest of the fence, make sure we're hot, then onto the water. Well, today is the day. It's a beautiful fall day, and we just got the call that the cows are loaded up and on their way. We talked to them this morning, and she was getting them loaded up and just kind of said, I've got the mama in there and the calf is out, so kind of just once ever I can get the calf rounded up, we'll give you a call and we'll head over. They don't live far, so should be here any minute. Yesterday we finalized getting the barn ready. When we get here, we can either load into the barn here or load through the back way through the pasture, or just put them in the pasture. I'm kind of leaving that up to these guys, to what they think is best. If they think we should leave them in here overnight. It's getting dark in here, but we've got a gate here, and we hung a new gate midway here yesterday. And there's of course a gate back there that goes to the pasture, so we can have this area just to keep them in till they get comfortable. I did have to hang some netting over. This is our hay we have stocked, so I'm sure they're going to really be interested in that area. Put some water. There's a mineral block, but that's just there for right now. We're excited. I always try to have all my bases covered. So chargers are working on the fence, water's in the pasture, so we can go straight to the pasture or we can go into the barn. I'm just taking these guys' lead, but very excited. Cows any minute. They're here.
All right, Jovi and I just made it outside, and seems like the best thing to do is gonna be to get them trapped in here. Not trapped, but to get them out of the trailer and in here for a bit until they calm down. Just like with the pigs, they're kind of riled up from the drive, so yeah, we don't want them just busting through the electric fence and getting out immediately. So let's calm them down, get them used to us a little bit, maybe for just a few hours, she suggested, or a day or so. That's the plan of attack. We're gonna try to get their trailer up here to the entrance of this barn, which is one of our issues. It's not necessarily easy because we have that kind of lean-to off the barn there. I don't think the trailer's too tall for that, but getting turned around up here by the house, we don't really have a great, we need a circle drive or somewhere to at least back in the trailer and get turned around. Keep coming. I think that might be okay. You ready, Rob?
I think so. You ready? Sure. No, you're not coming this way. We already went at it. Here, I'll go over.
Oh no, we're good. She'll come. Come on, Hopi. Come on.
Yes.
Hopi, come here.
Good treater.
Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on, Hopi. Girl. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. You got it.
There you go. Good job.
Good girl. Keep going. Keep going. Good girl. Good girl. Come
Wow.
on.
Just step back. I think you got it.
Come on, baby. There you go.
You got the gate shut?
Oh.
Yeah, because you don't even.
What do you have that chain going around? Just the two before behind you, or? Oh, boy.
Yeah, she wants out there.
Yeah, that's kind of a small chain, Rob.
I need to turn the fence on. Yeah. I'll go hit it. Yeah, they'll want to
Okay.
test. They'll walk the whole perimeter.
Yeah, that chain is really tiny.
And I'll test it. Here, I'll keep her from coming off this way.
Hi.
I see that grass out there.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna
Maybe turning the fence on. Is the fence on?
Not yet. He just did. You got it on?
That might be a better idea to.
Yeah.
Oh, they're out, they're out, they're out.
The calf get his head up? Alright, well.
They're out.
Oh my word.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, now this.
They're not used to being pinned up.
Yeah. Now that one's gonna have to, if they try to come back in here. I don't know how he had that tied.
We'll just want to make sure he gets his, like maybe
Yeah. Yeah, that chain was way too tiny. I didn't know that's all he had on there. Check it out, girls. There's chickens over there.
Yeah, they will.
Oh my. Okay, they're checking out the furthest corner of their new pasture. Maybe this was a horrible idea. I don't know what happens if they get out. They're way back there by the chickens. I don't think they're used to electric fence, just wooden perimeter fence.
Okay, they're gone. And we have cows now. Don't know what we're doing. The cows kind of seem to know what they're doing. I think we have cows. I'm going out to check and make sure we still have cows. Maybe they're laying down back there. So we had a plan of how the cows were going to arrive, and they had their own plan of how they were going to arrive. But I think we're good. The only problem was that I didn't have the fence plugged in. So when we put them in this barn area where we thought they were going to hang out and chill out, they decided to knock that gate completely off and went into the pasture, and I didn't have the fence hot. So I had to run over here, turn the fence on, which it's on now, and also secure this other gate, which I had open because I thought maybe they'd want to come in that way to unload them. So there was a bit of frantic stuff, but now the cows are just laying down back there in the corner, hanging out, being cows, getting comfortable. We have cows now. I definitely feel like I'm going to have a hard time not checking on them a million times today. Just make sure they're still out there. One thing I definitely want to do now that I've seen the size of the calf is walk the perimeter again and maybe lower the lowest string of poly wire. But they tested it, they know it. They walked, the first thing they did when they got in the pasture was walk the perimeter. And then we saw them at this lower corner where the other gate is, test it and jump back. So they know now that it's hot. We have this area open back there so that they can get in there. There's some water there and mineral block, and they've got water in the pasture, and here we go.
Hi girls, what should we name ya? The big one is Hope.
Yeah.
And her calf is a heifer. Is that the correct term, even though she hasn't been bred, or is that a... Not sure.
Heifer calf. I don't know.
Heifer calf. So I guess Rob wants to name her because maybe we'll keep her and have 2 cows to breed.
Regardless, we'll have her around for a couple of years, so I think a name.
Yeah.
They come to their name, like they train to their name and stuff.
Yeah. On the way out, we actually were going to take her back over to their farm to breed, and we were asking when we should do that, and she said, oh, actually she might already be bred. So I think maybe the deal of the day
That'd be great.
is to foster relationships with people, because you just never know how the things that you need and want are gonna come to you, and sometimes it's through people.
Yummy grass.
She's eating grass. Sometimes it's in the least expected ways, and sometimes it's a bigger blessing than you ever thought it was going to be. And I think this lady just really loves these cows and enjoys them, and she is happy for us to be starting our own little farm and moving on up. I mean, I guess we've been doing the homesteading thing, but this is all new. Big animal. So she's excited for us on this journey, and I think she gave us a deal, and she's helping mentor us, and I think that's my little piece of advice.
Yeah, excited about something.
Find somebody else who loves it and is willing to share their knowledge and experience.